Welcome to Pagan Crafting, where magic and creativity intertwine. I'm Kara, and I'm your guide to enchanting art, nature, and witchcraft together. Join me today as we set up your creative art space. Now, this sacred space is going to be your art station meets an art altar, and everything that you could use to enhance, infuse, and intertwine into your magic. I'm going to go over a few examples that I have on my table. Actually, I'm going to go through everything I have on my table here today. And join me today as we make some wonderful magic together. So for setting up your creative sacred space, we're going to go over 4 main points. In those 4 main points, there's different categories and goodies that we're going to go over. So one of our points is art tools, enchanting your art tool, arranging your art tool as sacred items in sacred spaces. So it may look to the untrained eye just a simple art station, but it actually in mine is both art station and art altar. So going over these ideas today and what I have in my art altar, we're going to hit that today. Paintbrushes, pens, crafting tools, your sculpting tools, maybe an easel with a piece that you're presently working on or a centerpiece that you'd like to use. Point number 2 is using the elements, the elementals, using color correspondences as I have here with my candles here, my crystals, infusing different crystals into oils that I enchant my paintbrush handles with. Now you could use earth, you could have a small clay pot, you could use a divination bowl, you could use maybe a clay goddess that you have with herbs and crystals infused into her to simply have at the top point, which I have here, just the top point of my, just a little bit off camera, but enough to enchant my magical infusings. Now taking air, you may have some feathers on hand. I like to anoint the handles here, the feathers here, and I've also written a magical sigil on here to help me with my creative outlet. Here too, I use a moon spray and a moon oil, and I use the power of the magical phases of the moon to help me with my magical workings. Now a water, you could use a small bowl. This is my divination bowl, which I have my magical moon water, what I put in here, and I use my divination ink. Or you could just use that as offerings. Here is, I didn't use, because I'm mixing and cleaning my hands and for the clay. So this is my clay water. So I actually just put a little drop of my moon oil in here and the rest just tap water. But I still have some magical infusements coming in there with my moon water. Now, different tools that you could have. You could use a journal, a sketchbook, your grimoire, a sigil book. You could have crystals that are charged and energy infused. Now, hitting that also brings me to energy storage. Energy storage is things that you have spells on paper, enchanted candles, stored up energy in your crystals that you may place around your art. Now, I would like you to join me today, and I'm going to go over my entirety of my table. I'm going to go through everything I use here, why I use it, and why it's here. This is Art Station meets Art Altar, creative sacred space. We're starting off with a sweep of my art station. So my art station includes what you don't see here, but this is my setup. Usually I have a light that comes over here that provides no shadows for my filming. Now I do have where I put my camera in here so I can film all my little art magic and all my goodies that I'm doing. Now, I also have here a pestle and mortar for my herbs, for my resins, for my powders, for mixing. Coming into here, I have Reiki hugs. I will come back and explain. I also have my offerings with my candle, my sacred symbol for Pagan Crafting, as well as Love and Abundance Sigil. I have oils, I have blessing oils, I have waters, I have sprays, I have gem dust to gem chips, rock chips, different crystals that I like to infuse, as well as the elements here represented by candles. That I will show you in a moment, which I use with around the north, south, east, west. I also may use that candle magic just to bring out the color correspondences. Again, we're going to go through all of that. I have different stones. My herbs are all upstairs in my apothecary. I bring those down. I just do not have space here. I really wish I could have it down here, but I don't have the room for it, which is really sad. But someday my apothecary will be in my art room too, because I do a lot of ritual here, a lot of magic, a lot of spells here, more than I do upstairs on my altar anymore, and that's fine. You're gonna make a sound. Come, Samuel. This is Samuel. He probably will join us in a few videos now and yet again. He's always doing something. Different things you could have on your art altar. You could have paintbrushes. You could arrange things in sacred space and sacred order. My paintbrushes, my tools, my sculpting tools, my favorite paintbrushes. Most of all, you may have seen some of this one. I use this one a lot. Some goodies that I have here that I always like to have out. I do have even more paintbrushes behind you over here, but these are the ones that I use most of all, or they're my favorites. So I have them arranged in such a way that I have from my favorites to the smallest to the biggest, to my fans, to my boar hairs, to my wide brushes and pointers. Everything has a purpose and place, and when it comes to my paintbrushes, some other things may be chaotic, but when it comes to paintbrushes, they do have a place, and everything has a reason to go there. Now, you could arrange your tools as sacred items, sacred placements. You could have them arranged in such a way it would just look like maybe a crystal grid you're rocking on your altar. Now, you can take things and full on use this as your art station, your art altar, your sacred creative space, or what you could do is have it made it look like just an art station that you would infuse creative outlets with. So depending if you're a closet witch or not, or if you have the space. This is actually my dining area. This is my living room here. I have another part of my living room that's over there. But I have a table, a dining room table that I got secondhand so it could take a beating. And I tossed out all the chairs. I wasn't using them. And they were secondhand, and they got paint, and they were, whatever. I let them go. I don't need them. I don't host like that. If I have people over, I ask them to bring chairs over outside, enjoying the beautiful day. So I don't have chairs, is what I'm trying to say around this. I just have an absolute station. These are some of my cupboards that you see here. Then they fall along the wall, which I have more along the wall of lots more things that are organized with all my goodies. I could make a video too on how I organize my art studio, but I'm about to build new shelves for that whole wall because I feel I have a lot of wasted space that I could go up to the ceiling with. So I'm going to make a video probably this summer when it warms up, because I still got winter out here and I can't bring my tools out into the snow and it's too cold. Don't feel like it. I'm a wussy for the snow. So I'm going to wait till it's warmer. So if you could too, and then you can see how I transform my magical space even more so. This right now, I absolutely love. I love having a centerpiece, something that I'm working on that I need to see in my face. This is I'll show you. It's my bookmark I actually got from Daisy's Art Magic. It's a little goddess. I love it so much. This is a sigil for pagan crafting, and it's to empower my magical workings. Inside, I have made a sigil travel book. Right now, I only have 3 sigils in it that I've crafted, but they flip out and then I have the meanings for them. So what I did, I found this book first, painted the pages. I should have counted how many pages I had to do because I have 30 of them. So what I did, I took 30 of the top sigils that I had in on my shorts. Actually, when I first started my channel, I was doing bind runes and sigils as shorts for the longest time. And what I did there, out of probably 500, 1,000, I don't know how many I did because I did it for a few months, 2 times a day. I made these sigils or bind runes, and I worked on them and created them all. I didn't look up any online. They were all crafted and drawn up on my sigil sheets. And I took 30 of the top ones, the most popular 30 sigils that I created, and I started putting them into my sigil book, and I'm going to transfer them over to my sigil craft book, traveling book. Sorry. This is not my original idea. This one's from Corrigan the Crone. She rocked a sigil grimoire book that she put out maybe a year and a half ago. I'll link down her channel below, as well as if I find the video, I'll put that with that video too. So I gotta do it. It's so cool. This is my sigil book that I created with you actually on my channel. I love this book. It travels with me everywhere. I bring it camping. I bring it to friends' places. And what I've done here, these are some sigils I have on the go. They're in, oh, these ones are color. There's the travel one you saw maybe my last video. I have that in my phone case for safe travels. This is for Bless My Altar, Boost Self-Confidence. These were all chosen by you as my most popular video. I am at peace. I am losing weight. Ooh, I need that one. Pagan crafting symbol. And a bunch of other ones from we've featured on the channel. Every time I've done a spell jar, we've also done a sigil. So that goes into this book here. I also have some Alchemy of Table of Symbols because I love bringing in symbolism into my world, into my art. I hide sigils and symbols into my clay as I'm sculpting underneath my art in layers. I hide sigils and symbols in my collages and paintings. I hide so much stuff, and if people find them, like just my regular everyday paintings, I hide things in them, and if you find them, I'm like, we have the same mind. I like it. This is also ancient and mystical alphabets. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which I was more prepared enough I didn't have to count that. But there's anything from Anglo-Roman to Sumerian, heretic, hieroglyphics, demonic, Hebrew, Greek, Elder Fulthark, which I like using quite a bit. You name it, it's on here, and it's a fun thing to use as well. I like using it. I love symbolism. I love correspondences. You are going to find out today how much of a dork I am when it comes to correspondences. Sometimes you just got to get dirty and rock that spell. Grab yourself maybe a color coordinated candle. Actually, let's light that candle. Let's bring in some attraction. We have the color yellow here with my mandala. We got rock and orange. Let's bring in some goodwill. Let's attract some amazing people to this video that I have here. And I want to say I really enjoyed the comments on the last video, 13 tips for creating art magic. Wow, you guys are incredible and so kind and so sweet, and you inspired this video. So let's have some fun with this here too. I'm going to keep going with all the stuff that I have here. And, oh, we got to put this bookmark back in here. So I'm going to keep, where were we? We were at, I have a simple tarot journal that I made. This one's really cool too. We got blank. I always do a first few pages blank. This one's all the numbers in tarot. This is planetary alignments to going with the suits, the elementals that follow the suits to each of the majors and their meanings. And then I go down into the suits. I also have Anything from background meanings, cloud meanings, seasons with the tarot, water, their names, sky colors, background colors, what they mean, the seasons, facing, cards, interaction. I need to put this into a mini grimoire, which is on the roster to make a video for you as well. I have another one of these kids books with the hard pages that I bought. I bought 2 little ones that I found at the thrift store, and someone's special little book is going to get turned into a simple tarot journal book. Yeah. So that's coming up here too. Okay, pestle and mortar. We're going to rock in some herbs. We're going to have resin. Maybe we'll mix in our powders. And then we could also put them into our clay. So right now I'm working on some stuff here. I didn't really clean up my mess here. I just, you know what, I was gonna like make it all perfect and have a really nice space, but you know what, this is me, raw and dirty. This is me. I don't feel like I should have to change up things to make it look aesthetically pleasing. So right now from your angle it looks like a lot. But I'm telling you, everything has a purpose and everything has a space and everything actually is absolutely organized. Showing with the close-up here, I have my oils, then I have my candles, my powders to my crystal chips to rocks that actually empower and infuse and enhance energy into my creation. I have all kinds of stones here too that I may place around my magical working, my table, that as I'm crafting, the energy of those crystals and how I enchanted them is going to infuse into my artwork too. So every stone here on top of here has a little place. I have rock chips that I actually, as well as the gem dust, which I will go over in a moment here, that I do put into my clay too. You could use it for painting. Ooh, I got that too. These are different. First, these ones all in blue here are sacred fire. Let's see. Lapis lazuli, amethyst, bloodstone, garnet, black tourmaline, angelite. These are all colors that I've mixed in with gum arabic. And those will be able to, I mix them with a little bit of water. You can mix them with a little bit of Mod Podge. I've enchanted black tourmaline on my wreath that I have on my front door to deflect energy instead of absorb negative energy. I want to deflect it, so I use that stone instead. I have a honeydew brick dust. I have mugwort, sunflower, calendula, rose hips, Alberta sage, peppermint and cedar, and dandelion root. All these are certain blend, either together or apart, that I'm looking for a certain color, and I love painting with this or adding to here. So these are very, very, very fine powders that I've worked with. I'm going to go over what's behind here too. I actually have a small little station where I have more goodies, and we'll come in with that. So different things you can put in your artwork. I have gem dust here, and I bought this from the Open Circle. These are Witches and a Wizard out of Camrose, Alberta. And they're only $2 for this little bottle. So I now own every single color of every single crystal that they sell since the last witchy market. I only buy like 2 or 4 at a time. And next I'm like, I just need this one and this one because I want to paint them. I want to infuse them and sprinkle dust everywhere. This one is Adventure Teen Gem Dust. Beautiful green. Now I have right behind my gem dust, I have rock chips. And these ones are wonderful to add into any spell jars, your mojo bags. You can add them into your clay. You can put them into your cards, into your oils. Ooh, speaking of oils, let's go to, where did I put them? Right in front of me. let's just moosh this book down for a sec here. Now this is fun. This is my enchantment oil, and I made a fresh batch in January, just the beginning of the month. And I made a different one that I haven't done before. This one I just use only crystals and rock chips. Each one does something different. So I have the amethyst for spiritual, for psychic, for spiritual, kind of like an enhancement, for protection, for cleansing, spiritual energy, and it also enhances energy. So I have the wishing crystals, the white quartz, the clear quartz crystal. I have also, I should have some love in there for sure. Let me have a little look. I see rose quartz in there. There's rose quartz in here too. And I have some black tourmaline for protection. So this one I don't have any herbs in. This one is just straight oil and crystals. Now this enchantment oil has rosemary, cinnamon, fire flower, bee pollen, and crystals. So I see the cinnamon and rosemary and the fire flower is gorgeous. I also have rose petals in there too. And then I have the same crystals I put in here, but one thing I did add different with adventure team for it, because this one is my enchantment oil that's straight up for prosperity, for infusing with the honeybee pollen. It's for happiness, and then the rose petals for love. And I just want to have this infusement into all my art. Now what I could use these for, this is super fun. Let's grab, I have feathers here too. I have the moons on one, and then I have my sigil on the other. Now this is to enhance creativity. The moon is I'm using, that one is different. I don't use my enchantment oil on my moon feather. I will use sometimes I don't label them. Sage and my moon oil. So that could help infuse. You could use that for your sage blends to finish up your projects, to close, to seal the magic within your projects. You could use the sage spray for rocking in some great cleansing energy before you start, especially if you're doing a magical piece for someone else that is going through a lot and you want to send them some very special magical piece to them. Then you might want to start off with a sage blend, a sage spray. Now this enchantment oil, I will use on my tools, my paint brushes. I have tools here too. Now this one I would use in a sage smudge blend. I might bring in some resin for, let's say what if I'm an artist that I sell my paintings? And so maybe I might use some prosperity resin or a prosperity blend. Maybe I might use some green candles here. I'm using an orange candle here for attraction. Ooh, I got color correspondences here too. So let me read this out to you. Oh, where's my colors go? Green, abundance, prosperity, growth, healing, fertility, life, birth, new journey, and also jealousy. But orange also represents courage, ambition, enthusiasm, and great energy. Noble. I got purple there too, and we don't need to go through all the colors. But I have all kinds of goodies, and I have all kinds of colors that I use in my correspondences. So using enchantment oil is something else that you could use. You could design your own enchantment oil of different herbs that mean different things to you, or you want to invoke into your magical practice. You could use crystals, crystal powders. If you don't have crystals to put smaller ones inside, then maybe you can place some crystals around your bottle and let it infuse with the energy of the crystals into your oil. Now, if you'd like to see, how about if you'd like to see a video on making enchanted oil, throw me down a green heart emoji and we'll go over that. Now, other oils that I have here, I love this one. This one's my ancestor, honor your ancestor oil. This is a beautiful oil made from Goddess Temple, and I actually got it for the Day of the Dead. But I use it as perfume more than anything. It's so good. But it's, if I'm working with my ancestors, if I'm doing any ink scrying, if I'm doing some automatic writing, I will wear that oil. It is so good and amazing to use. I also have some protection oil here. I made this with my Patreon, Sarah C. Actually, she's from the Healing Tarot, Healing Teas and Tarot, and we made this oil for her, with her in mind, and now I use it myself when I'm doing different magical uses too. We have our New Year's oil that I made with you on the channel. And before I started, I used that and Enchanted my goodies. I have specialty oils such as Lifting the Veil. I have Samhain oil for working with my ancestors. Different things when you're working with your arts, bring it in. I have some black salt for protection. I have grounding oil. I have some phoenix oil. This is ritual spell oil. This one's a little different. I actually bought this for my shamanic healing sessions. This oil is for trauma and for helping those to get past and heal. Sometimes I make magical pieces to help people out, so I thought that might be a cool purchase to drop in some oil into some of my paint and infuse it right into my canvas. I do have some honeybee pollen if I feel like bringing in some happiness as well. I have my porcupine quill that I use for scribing my candles. Now this you may see here, which I haven't gone over, this is what I call my Reiki hugs. Now my Reiki hugs are, I have two different colors in here. They're all out of parchment paper. The brown coffee dyed is for humans. The periwinkle blue dyed by purple cauliflower, and it was so gorgeous making this papers for pets. These ones are for animals. So it looks like I'm working on 4 animals and 6 humans right now. So my Reiki hug, I'm a Reiki master and teacher, and this is a way that I can just remember, open up. This one's for my friend's puppy. Got into a car crash, hurt back, car accident, got into a hurt back hip. So we've been working on alleviating the pain so they can get surgery, and it worked right away. So until she's fully healed, she's gonna stay in there. And I have my dog in there. She's going through some hard times right now. And my poor little soul, so I have her to work on with the energy here. Now, other things I have, this is my Nature Grimoire book, and what I do is I have it on this little altar that I've made. It just kind of rises it up here. I'm in the present of, I kind of have my inspiration here, and I like to see what I'm doing. I'm on my last page, which you'll be seeing the last page of this signature, and then I have my new signatures ready to go. That lives there. And underneath here, I again love working with color. I have my chakra pendulum. And I have my divination chakra board, which we made on the channel about a year ago. This has all the levels of the chakras all the way up. We have our corresponding stones, and this we use our pendulum to see what either you work on, what you should wear that day, maybe a color that you could work with. If you don't know what to start off with, when I refer to canvas, Canvas doesn't always mean an actual canvas. Canvas could be a spell jar. It could be your oil. It could be your art journal. It could be in a book. It could be your teas that you make. Your canvas could be the cauldron that holds all your herbs and crystals for your next infusement for your oils. But when I made this canvas in particular, I made it to find out what you need to work on, how far away it goes to the crystal, to the stone, to the closest to the center means something. If you feel like you don't know what you want to work on, you could also work on this one. This one's an aura pendulum board. And this aura board was also made about a year ago on the channel. And you could use this for determining what colors you wish to work with. Sometimes when I work on my canvas, I pick my colors that I want to invoke first, and I finger paint. Some of you ask me in the comments what I paint. What am I talking about with the canvas and painting all the time? That's just one example of many, but a lot of times when I'm painting, I'm not ready to show that book yet. Okay, I do have my spell book, and I will like bring in the color and the motions one way, depending on the direction you want it to flow, depending on what's happening, depending on what colors, let it dry, infuse sigils on it, infuse rune stones on it, bind runes, paint over it, collage over it, and just bring up the layers. Now, when working on your painting, again, you could use where you need to go with your artwork, and that the colors can help you out there. If you just say, Spirit, pick 3 colors for me, and I'm going to rock with it today. That could be a fun way if you want to make an aura board or a color code board. And let your pendulum and your energy do the talking for you. I have crystals here that I work with. They also I actually just spread them out here. I buy so many, they wound up getting hot glued into so many of my artistic pieces. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to move the camera here a little bit because I want to... I'm going to move the camera here a little bit because I want to rotate this way, and I want to show you what some of the stuff I have over here. So next up, what I have here is my moon water. This one is the Wolf Moon, January 13th, 2025. I label them for my daughter because she never knows if it's like new moon or full moon or what I got going on there. So that one's for her. Silicone, I have Enchanted. Yes, everything is enchanted, including scissors now after my last video. My favorite little workstation, I use a brush set here, holder to put in all my goodies. I have my gessos labeled, my Mod Podge, my favorite stamp set. Now I have my glues, my wheel of the year to refer to. I have some watercolor paper that I can rock, as well as, I got this from Sarah C. This was actually from her wedding, and I'm going to be making something very cool out of that. Not quite sure yet. Now, what I have here is I use color correspondence and everything, and this year I'm on abundance of art and abundance of wonderful people to come to me. So let's start that up. Now you do want to wait till this has burnt all the way and turns gray, but you can't do in the gray because the color is changing. But I do use colored charcoal in my workings, and I have many different colors to choose from. Now these are some of the blends that I use here. This is a mugwort, sage, rose petal, copal. This is kind of gets me into a dreamy state. This is for Spirit Dream Blend for lucid and astral dreaming. It is a very magical blend, and I use it absolutely daily. This blend here is amber, for you see with the amber bits, and the green and silver is for success and abundance, and the amber is for cleansing and also for protecting. I will bring into infusement of stones around my magical workings. This piece is not a lapis, it's actually, I can't recall, it's got pink shimmeries in it. Oh, I even have some little phallic and yonic symbols here to work with. Now these are all my stones that I put into my magical works. And I do have different stones on top of here that will help and enchant and infuse. Oh, there's some gorgeous aquamarine for my birthday year. Timber Spirit, handcrafted since 2020. Yeah. So that one is, I'm a woodworker. I'm an amateur woodworker, so I made myself a brand so I can feel cool. Yeah. Again, favorite tools. And down here, I have a little goddess that looks after me. And this is from Daisy's Art Magic. She has deleted the video where she made that, sadly. Aww. But today I brought out all the little faces and stuff she sent me in the mail. These are for the little divine masculines. These are for the divine feminines. And these are some of the little goddesses that she made me and sent to me. I got to show you this one. Look at her little bum. She's just happy to be there. I don't think these ones have bums. Oh my God, they got bums. They got little bums too. And this one I'm going to be making some goddesses and putting them some hearts in. I recently worked on this goddess piece last night. Trying my, this is a really bad bum. Trying my hand in little goddesses. Trying my hand in new style of, I guess it's like an artist clay that I've never used. So let's go over to here now. So this is behind my art altar. I have more oils to work with. These are all my phases of the moon. So each one, for example, the first quarter moon. And I have all 8 of them in here to use for different infusements. I love wax stamp seals. I'm addicted. I made this piece. It has a heart with mushrooms, a mushroom growing off of it. Little enchanted piece. Oh, I have little wishes ready to go. Now I just have little crystals and whatnot. I have more feathers here that I use, that I've painted. This one here is an, ooh, and a little feather there. This one here is an eagle feather that was presented to me in August 2023, and it was after a healing circle we did with over 32 women. For help putting that on, I was presented that feather. And you guys may remember my Enchanted, oh, my cottagecore mirror. And again with color correspondences, these are just behind here. Color correspondences, these are all my wax stamp seals, and I love using the different colors to represent different things that I want to invoke and infuse. I will wear different bracelets during different sessions. And I have some pieces here that I have on the go. Some pieces that have their holes in them ready to be threaded. I also have some pieces here ready to be worked with. Let's see here, some ones that are wire wrapped already. Some of them have charms on them, ready to become necklaces or pieces. But for now, they can just hang out here and feel the vibe of the flow of my place. I like everything. I kind of got a little place for it. These are some of the jewelry that I work with that I like to wear during. These are some of the pieces that I've made on the channel. little goodies here and there. But this is my view. So this is my view from when I'm working. Come with me, let's go over here. So I like to stand either here, and here's my magical space that you see from your view. And then I like to stand here and work with my intentions. Everything from my smudges, my oils, my crystals, my candles, the color coordination that I use, everything that I like to use comes into my art. So to give a little recap, I'm creating some ambiance here and I'm getting smoked out. That's okay. Art tools, arrange them in a sacred space. Remember your elements, how you can bring the elements or seasons or nature into your artwork. Think about creative offerings, how you display. This may just look like an easel, and it may have a canvas on that maybe you're working on or something that you want, because I have this and this here, so I keep remembering to work on it, or else I'm going to keep working on other projects. I recently just put these two here, so I see them and I drive myself nuts and know that I have to finish that. I started this one a year ago, ADHD witch. Oh. Another thing you can do is make sure you have is your creative offerings. Whether you can display an enchanted piece or a magical item. You could have things like I have with my crystals here that store energy that you can place around your piece. No different if you had a candle, putting crystals or herbs or meaningful objects around it to enhance the energy as the flame burns. Instead of a candle, throw in your art piece, Enchanted. Other things for energy storage are, like example, my Reiki hugs. You could also have, instead of the Reiki hugs, you could have spells in there, little spells on notes. You could read them out and you're like, oh yeah, let's add this and this and this too. I liked when I did this together, because when I put all those together, my spell really worked out. I'm glad I wrote that down. Always write all your stuff down. So these are tips and hints and different things that I personally do for my art station and my art altar. I bring in a lot of correspondences and a lot of goodies. Even if I don't use them in the art, the energy is vibing into my space. And that's what I like. I like having my stuff around that I can just grab some oils, grab some sprays, rock that here and throw it in. Throw me down in the comment below if you'd like to do a green heart, if you'd like to learn enchanted oil. Throw me down a purple heart if you like to learn painting with crystals. And throw me down a blue heart and we'll do an art tutorial from start to finish on the 13 tips on how to create art magic. Well, thanks so very much for hanging out with me, and I wish you absolutely a magical infusement of a creative thought process that could maybe come out of these ideas that you can infuse your art station, your art altar, your creative sacred space. Comment down below what you like the most. What was your favorite part of my art station, my art altar, and what did you like about that maybe you're going to bring into your creative practice, whether you're a musician, an artist, or a crafter, or a journalist. Tell me what you're going to use now. I would love, love, love to hear that. Until then, I wish you an absolutely magical time and happy crafting.